ang disenteng trabaho ay marangal na hanap buhay. Ilaw po.
Disenteng trabaho na nalalaman ko ay yung ikararangal ng pamilya, ng pamahalaan, ng sanlibutan at lahat na ng ating komunidad.
Tabii ki herkesin hayali üniversiteye gitmek, üniversiteyi bitirmek ve bir meslek sahibi olmak, sonra kendisine bir hayat kurmak. Tabii benim de böyle hayallerim var ve ben üniversiteyi bitirip inşallah pilot olmak istiyorum.
I believe that the time is right for a paradigm shift towards production and employment-oriented approach to development and poverty reduction.
September 2005. Heads of state of more than 150 countries meet at the World Summit of the UN General Assembly and declare the following. We strongly support fair globalization and resolve to make the goals of full and productive employment and decent work for all, including women and young people, a central objective of our relevant national and international policies, as well as our national development strategies.
Well, decent work was originally an ILO proposition. It has now become a global goal because it has global support. Work is part of the cost of production, so it's a source of income. But it's also a source of personal dignity, It's also part of the stability of a family. A community at work is a community at peace.
Decent work and the Decent Work Agenda is a balanced and integrated programmatic approach to pursuing the objective of full and productive employment while at the same time ensuring opportunities for work that is productive and delivers a fair income, security in the workplace and social protection for workers and their families, better prospects for personal development and social integration, equal treatment and equal opportunities for all, and the freedom of workers to express their concerns, to organize, and to participate in decisions that affect their lives. In a 2006 ministerial declaration of the UN Economic and Social Council, participating ministers and heads of delegation resolved to make the Decent Work Agenda central to their efforts to eradicate poverty and to urge UN agencies to mainstream decent work into all their policies, programs, and activities.
They decided and encouraged us to start constructing a tool that could be useful for all of them to look at what they do through the lenses of employment and decent work. And we came to something that indeed is very practical and is this, this toolkit for mainstreaming employment and decent work that was indeed constructed precisely along the same lines of the Decent Work Agenda.
The toolkit for mainstreaming employment and decent work, which was developed by the ILO in consultation with other UN agencies, is intended to be used as a guide by anyone involved in some aspect of designing, implementing, or evaluating programs linked to national development strategies. The goal is to help them see how their programs are linked with decent work outcomes and how they can enhance the impact of their programs from an employment creation perspective.
Accepting that these organizations have got different mandates. So how do we best bridge them? And the toolkit could be one way in which we could bridge some of the differences between these multilateral organizations and try and build more coherence in how they focus on growth, decent work and development in the world today.
Each organization can take the toolkit and see how they can use those tools to play their part in the common goal of promoting decent work.
We all have our mandates, our experiences, our knowledge base, our policy proposals, and the challenge was to say, well, can we develop a methodology in which we can look at our own policies in terms of their effect on full and productive employment and decent work. What's happened is that the UN has come together and said, look, let's not wait for jobs tomorrow. Let's work for jobs today. And that's what it's about.
The toolkit consists of a diagnostic questionnaire that the multilateral agencies and others can use to identify important linkages.
What is the connection between what I do in my own mandate, in my own program, with my own activities, whomever I am as an international organization, and how that connects with decent work and employment. And what can I do to contribute best, not to undermine, and to converge and create the conditions, if that is in my scope of activities, for decent work to flourish and to grow.
Decent work continues to be a key challenge for all of the people who live in rural areas, and principally for those who depend upon agriculture for their livelihoods. So we mean farmers, fisher folk, forest users, indigenous peoples, the men and women who work every day in conditions which are not qualified as decent work. We're planning to accompany it with an actual employment strategy, and to really address the poverty question, we have to look at it now, just not only from FAO's perspective as farmers producing, but in terms of whether this is going to get them a decent wage, a living wage, whether their conditions from day to day are sufficient for human dignity.
Sharing knowledge and experience is another important goal, and the toolkit will include a web-based platform for interagency collaboration. Here, participants can download tools and knowledge resources that have been posted by others. They can exchange practical information on specific topics of interest and on their experiences in the field.
And through that, you pool the knowledge base that exists in every agency of the system in order to organize it, systematize it, and share it. And it's amazing when we started pooling the experiences and the knowledge of other agencies, the amount of experiences and knowledge that we got is amazing.
That potential for these types of linkages can be enormous in a place like Liberia. The country has emerged from 14 years of conflict with its economy, its infrastructure, and its human capital in tatters. In many respects, Liberia is starting from scratch to build its future, and a full array of multilateral agencies is on the scene, helping in any way they can to meet this colossal development challenge. The skills and knowledge they bring have converged in this project. The construction of a road from the rural village of Mount Barkley to a larger town where there is an agricultural market. Currently, the road is mostly a footpath, impassable to motorized vehicles. The new road will enable the villagers in Mount Barkley to move their farm goods to market by car and truck. More products to market means more money for local farmers. But that's not all. This road means paid work for the local people and is a critical step toward developing Liberia's workforce of the future.
We recognize that a lot of the people that you would be trying to create employment for really wouldn't have the skills for that, because they haven't had a chance to really have gainful employment in many years. Like I said, they're fairly young, fairly untrained, high levels of illiteracy, and so on and so on.
For every job that's created or employment on the road, 5 jobs are generated off the road.
Really, especially in terms of rebuilding the value system. Yeah. And that's a key component, you know, of what have been missing over the years as a result of the war. You know, just those values, and where people then begin to feel good about the work that they're doing, and actually start taking a sense of pride in it.
I do bush cutting on the roof. It's my part of job on the roof. You know, the project now go long here. Now all the money I've been having on the road, I only support my children in school. Yeah, I just what I'm doing with it now. I only support my children in school with the money. When the road open, a market ground coming open here, maybe people will be coming from way back finished. If you bring in a part of goods here too, we'll start putting little the small market building, and it will become a big market then.
In addition to bringing together the farm to market and employment objectives into one project, This methodology has cast a wider net and brought in the skills and perspectives of other multilateral agencies as well, like UNICEF.
To allow even young people without basic skills and without basic literacy to participate in a kind of readiness for work, preparedness, so that we also can participate by helping them to complete their education, to acquire the kind of life skills that will make them ready and able to get a job and to be able to stay in a job or to stay in a decent work opportunity.
Bringing global issues and perspectives into focus, integrating them into country-level agendas, policy coherence, program convergence. It's about bringing out the best in the multilateral system for those who depend on us for a better future and a better life. It's about weaving together the main strands of our knowledge and expertise so we can deliver as one United Nations.